What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Cal, bringing you another video on the channel today. As you guys can see by the title, your boy got COVID. I got COVID and I am feeling perfectly fine at this moment. So how did I get COVID? I have no idea. I work out at a public gym. It's very packed, so there's a good chance I got it from there. I also work at a restaurant, so there's a good chance I got it from there. I'm around germs a lot, and you know, to go 10 months without getting sick or getting this virus, this deathly virus, as they say, pretty good, you know. And considering I've taken multiple COVID tests, and I have not tested positive once. And I was moving into my dorm at college, and before you move in, you have to get a rapid Binex test that takes around 15 to 30 minutes to get the results. So I got the results after being absolutely plunked. 5 doctors came up to my car and they were like, "Cal, I am so sorry to inform you, but you have COVID. You tested positive." And I was like, oh shit, like really? And they seemed to be more in shock than me. And this was really interesting due to the fact I was not in a fear state of mind. I was not fearful, and I had very little attachment to being positive. And I know that may sound crazy, and I know that may sound like, wow, Cal, how irresponsible of you. No, I am in a low frequency. I know that I am not my body. I know that even though my physical body is sick, my physical composition, my biological being is sick, I do not have to enhance that through my mind. And by identifying with thoughts, being like, oh, I'm gonna die from this virus, being like, no, that doesn't make any sense. The survival rate of this COVID-19 is 99.7. So, and yes, people do die. I'm not saying this thing is a hoax. I'm not saying it doesn't kill people. What I'm saying is there is a lot of things exaggerated by the media. And you can talk to doctors. Plenty of doctors are coming out and saying this thing is not as bad as it seems. But the media does not want to show that. Why? Because they want to keep people in a fear state. When people are in a fear state, they're easier to be controlled. They're more vulnerable. And so when they're more vulnerable, they're looking for answers. They're seeking for that comfort, that reassurance. And it's really interesting to me how the media is able to get away with this on a day-to-day basis, right? By exploiting fear in order to have business. And when people are seeking for answers and reassurance, they're going to trust the media and they're going to keep watching things like CNN, Fox News, you know, all these major corporations. And it's 6 corporations own 90% of the media in the United States. What does that tell you? It tells you that there is a limited perspective. And a lot of times this limited perspective falls in line with the narrative that the media creates. And when you speak outside the narrative, when you speak outside that, you know, common story, you're seen as a conspiracy theorist. You're seen as someone that's crazy. And, you know, to me, that's a really funny because you're actually falling prisoner and you're being more irresponsible by not thinking for yourself, by falling victim to something that you're not aware of. Yes, I have COVID. Yes, I'm aware that I can transmit this virus to someone who may have a pre-existing condition, may be older. Yes, I'm aware that I can kill people. But since there are so many solutions out there, such as eating healthy, meditating, connecting with your higher self, clearing your mind, living a stress-free life, all solutions that are not portrayed by the media. Maybe at times they portray these type of things, right? But it's very, very limited compared to how much they focus on politics, compared to how much they focus on the vaccines, you know, how much they focus on COVID-19 with their fucking fat ass scoreboard of the amount of deaths and cases, and the vaccine counter that I saw at the gym. I glanced over and I was like, wow, bro, look at that. They have a vaccine counter. Crazy, right? I wonder what they want people to focus on. Through this, I am able to be prepared. I'm not going to be a jackass. I'm following the protocols. I'm in isolation right now. I'm not going out into public coughing on other people. No, I understand, okay? It's a balance of the two. It's a balance of wearing a mask when it's needed, but it's also a balance of eating healthy, living a stress-free life, and exercise, connecting within, and realizing that this 3D world is not the only world. There's also an internal world that coexists with this external world. And whether you want to call this a matrix, whether you want to call this the world of becoming, a lot of times people attach to it as if they are this matrix, right? This mind-made self, this self-image that's ultimately who they think they are, but it's not who they truly are. And through spirituality, through meditation, I feel as though I've been able to decrease my symptoms. Last Wednesday, I got the recognition of like sickness. I went to go take a shower. Immediately after I took that shower, the sickness started to fade away. And then after I got that test, right, and they told me I was positive, that Sunday, which was a couple days ago, this past Sunday, I started to feel under the weather again, and that's when the symptoms started coming, but it was very slight. And since I was so prepared through my nutrition, through getting sun, through getting nature, through living a stress-free life while being aware of the virus and what it can do, I've been able to be prepared through this virus. And people might be like, oh, Cal, you're young. That is such an excuse. People that are young die to sicknesses all the time. There are many reasons why young individuals can die. There are many factors, but I'm just pointing out some of the solutions that the media does not portray. Through my own experience with COVID-19 and what it is truly, I know that this virus is not as bad as they make it out to be. And yes, it is different for every single person. I get that. I totally get that. But it depends on a lot of factors, right? So since it depends on a lot of factors, right, such as your environment, such as your genetics, such as pre-existing conditions, your nutrition, health, all these different things, your spiritual health, your mental health, all these different things, when you are so efficient in all of these areas, right, and something like a virus comes in, your body's going to be prepared for it. And I understand the immune system has to learn about it. Yes, you may have symptoms, but imagine that you don't have all that preparation, right? It's just like being aware of something. Imagine that you're not aware of a test. They tell you, oh yeah, there's a test today, but you weren't aware of it, right? You didn't have time to study for it. You're fucked. You're going to get a fail. You're going to get a failing grade, right? But if you were ready for that test, right, and you studied, right, such as eating healthy, you were ready for all sicknesses coming your way, you are going to be able to succeed. You'll be prepared for when it happens, because this is an internal battle. And everything that the media portrays is literally external. Wear a mask, 6 feet, social distancing. I get all of that. But what happens when you don't place anything and you completely neglect your internal state, such as your immune system, such as your physical composition, your environment? There's so much more factors than what they're focusing on. And this is why I stray away from the media. This is why I observe it from afar, right? And I'm aware of what they're doing, but I don't attach my attention to it. I don't let them dictate my reality. I create my own reality, and I take steps myself, and I don't depend on them for answers. I depend on myself for answers, because I know what's right based off my own research. And I knew from the second those doctors told me, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm not going to die from this thing. Although that is a belief, and I cannot 100% for sure say that, due to the fact I cannot prove 100% the future, I knew I was going to be okay. Ultimately, being in a love frequency, loving yourself, and not giving in to the fear, false evidence appearing real, the collective likes to portray about this virus, because this should not be as bad as it is right now. So I hope I can shed some light from my own experience with this virus. Yes, I have had symptoms. Yes, I have felt a little bit under the weather, but I have not enhanced that through my mind. I have not enhanced that through my mind-made self by being the victim, feeling the empathy for something that I know is truly not as bad as it seems, as the collective, the matrix, that they use to usher in all these agendas to control people, to manipulate them. I'm aware that it kills people, but how deadly is it? That's up for you to decide. I'm just sharing my perspective. This is my conclusion. You do not have to agree. You could disagree with me, question what I'm saying. Do your own research, because you do not want to fall victim to something that you weren't aware of. So I love you guys. With all that being said, love yourself because I love you. And yeah, peace the fuck out.